Hi, welcome back to Blessings Diaries. I am here in Shanghai, back from my trip in Japan, and I'm here with my bird, Black Pearl. And I thought I would put together a little video to show you guys how she can speak.
Hello, girl. 你好，你好。咕咕咕。你manger.
Oui, Père, je vais manger.
Au revoir.
So I actually have a little interesting story about her and all these words that she knows how to say, because when I got this bird, I thought that only parrots knew what they were saying. I thought that miners were just repeating and didn't really know the meaning of the words that they were using. And she picked up several words by herself, like the coucou, comment ça va, and I thought she was just copying me until one day I was getting ready to go to work and I took my keys, and probably from the sound of the keys, she understood I was going to leave the house. And she, by herself, said au revoir before I even said it. So that was the first time that I actually could hear her say a word, a human word that was accurately and properly used, which I was very surprised because I really thought they were only copying words, not really knowing what they were saying. And another very interesting story I got with her is one day I was getting ready to go to work. I was rushing for a meeting with a client, and I had been working on a project, so I was very stressed and on the rush. And as you notice, she can say on va manger, and she usually tells me au revoir when I'm gonna leave the house. And that day I had put food in her cage like usual to let her go back in her cage, which she had obeyed, so she had got in the cage. And once she was in the cage, instead of saying au revoir because it was getting ready to leave, she actually started saying on va manger, on va manger, on va manger, which means let's go eat. So I was surprised because she already had food in her cage and she didn't really need to ask for more food. She would do that sometimes. She would ask, on va boire de l'eau, when there's water missing in her cage. So just to warn me that I'm leaving the house and leaving her without water. But that time she had food, so I didn't really understand what was going on. And she continued saying, on va manger. So I gave her little treats that she likes. I gave her raisins. And she continued saying, on va manger, on va manger. I didn't really know what that was about, so I continued putting my coat on and getting ready to leave the house, getting my keys. And I was telling her au revoir, but she continued saying on va manger. So I kind of lost patience. I put her out in the balcony like I usually do. And she started screaming to death and calling me, like we can see in another video. She has a particular way of calling me, and she was really in panic. So I thought, what's going on? Maybe there's a cat outside, and there was nothing. So I continue to get ready to leave, and she continues repeating, on va manger, on va manger. So I gave her another piece of bread, and she calmed down for a minute. But then once I was getting ready and telling her au revoir, she really was screaming and screaming to death, like terrible, terrible screaming. So I went back to her, and again she was repeating on va manger. So I passed the door because I lost patience, and once I was leaving the house, I thought maybe this on va manger is not for her, but it's for me, because I had actually been rushing to get that project ready for that one meeting, and I had not eaten breakfast in 3 days in a row. And I thought maybe she'd been observing me and noticed that I haven't been really eating breakfast, and maybe she's worried about me eating and not her. That's why she's screaming to death. So I went into the cupboard and I took some cookies and I ate 3 cookies in front of her. And once I finished eating those cookies that I had in my hand, she looked at me. She said, "Au revoir," very peacefully, which means bye bye, and she let me go. So I think that was the biggest testimonial for me that animals have a deep caring for their caretaker, and maybe it's just a very survival instinct because basically, uh, if I die of hunger, there will be nobody to feed her. But it was very interesting for me how she noticed for several days. She was probably counting those days. And it just shows really a lot of care and love from this bird towards humans. So that was the little story for tonight, and you got to hear her say several words. I hope you enjoyed it and hope that you'll come back soon. Bye bye.